We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. One of the things we're doing today is I'm trying to make some of these Nintendo games work. I've got a DS here, and I was trying to make these little Nintendo games actually work. They don't work, little Game Boy games. And sorry, I'm trying to get the camera. They're not working in the console. So taking them apart, trying to make them work, and I want to show you what some of the stuff that I'm running into. You see all that? I'm going to show you this. It's like coffee or something. I hope that's not blurry.
Probably soda.
Looks like maybe soda, like Vicky said. It's probably soda. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing to clean them up, and then maybe show testing it afterwards to see if it works. I can't guarantee I get all of these to work. I've cleaned the lid out. The lid was full of it. So here's the actual. Yeah, it won't even come out. It's just glued in there. So I'm probably going to have to soak this one a little bit, and I'll show you if I can get it on camera.
What do you use to clean it?
I'm using alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. See how nasty that is? And if I clean it up, get up here in the video a little better. It's going to take a while on this one. If I get it cleaned up, I might be able to get this game to work again, which is doesn't cost much at all to fix them if you can fix them. These little games, I mean, little isopropyl alcohol, little elbow grease. Take a few minutes messing with it. I've never had one this nasty before, ever. So I'm hopeful I can get it to work again. I mean, this game right here is Mary Kate and Ashley Sweet 16. Not that it's like a favorite of mine, but it is a game that somebody would want. So I'm going to keep rubbing on this for a little bit. See if I can get it cleaned up and see if I can get this released without breaking it, because it's glued in there with this soda, coffee, whatever this is. So I will come back with you in a minute when I get it cleaned up, and we'll put it back together and test it. I'm cutting back in to show you this. I was able to get the actual card out of the game, and it's not focusing very well, but if you can see with the light, the black, there you go, the black tarry substance on the back of this game. Now this game is so messed up, I'm going to treat it a little rougher than I would another game because I don't have a lot of hope. Let's see. I'm sorry, I suck at trying to get this on video. I don't have a whole lot of hope for cleaning this out. But I actually had to use a prying tool. It's a little prying tool. Came with my little toolkit. Video game repair toolkit. Had to pry it out. So I'm not hopeful, but once I get all this cleaned off, I will be bringing you back and we'll test it live. Okay, I'm back. Same game I was working on. Mary Kate and Ashley, Sweet 16. Turn this light on. I found out this will give you a little better. Sweet 16. Got it all cleaned out inside. Here's the back of the case. Clean. Here's the actual chip card. Some of the pins don't look that good. Whatever was on it corroded a little bit, and the back pins look like they're messed up a little bit. I'm not hopeful this is going to be a good game, but it's worth a shot. I'll actually put it back together here on camera, and we're going to test it and see what happens. My big fingers, it's hard for me to get a hold of these little screws. So I'll put it in the console. See if you can see this. And there's a game pack inserted. And it may not accept it. There's no game pack inserted. It looks like that one's not going to work. So, back to the drawing board. I'll try cleaning this one again. If it doesn't work, then I'll throw it away. But here's another one that I cleaned. And this is SpongeBob SquarePants. And it wasn't as dirty It did not work in the console, but I'm going to try to clean it. I've had success with other discs. Make sure I got this in view. I'm going to plug it in. Hard to do this backwards. See if this one works. If not, I'll go back and clean it again. And start. There it is. Let me turn the light off so you can see it. So, turn that off. So cleaning these games, it only takes a minute. And you can take a game that's completely worthless. And for just a minute and a little isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, some Q-tips, you can get these games to working again. I do have the proper Y shape. There's a name for this. It's a 2.0 screwdriver. It's really hard. You're not going to be able to see it on the camera because it's so small. But I do have the screwdriver. I bought a little kit off Amazon. It's got all the bits, all the parts. I bought a couple extra screwdrivers. See where I take them apart. So, yeah, I've got to clean all these up. We know Hannah Montana. Let's get her cleaned up. This one here, the Sweet 16, it's probably going to be trash. I will not throw it away because if I get a game in that's got a cracked cover, I can replace the cover, maybe get a new graphic for it. But yeah, just to let y'all see what I was doing. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to show you these games here. SpongeBob and Let's Ride. I was able to get those to work. I'm going to turn the light. Oops. Yep, probably doesn't work now. No, SpongeBob and Let's Ride. Those worked. 7 games here. Those I'm putting in the box. They work. They're fine. Super Monkey Ball. Frogger Adventure. Dogs. What I did to get these to work is I used alcohol to clean the pins like I did the other two. And they didn't fix it, so I had to open them back up. And I used my secret weapon, a pencil eraser. Let me warn you, if you're going to clean the pins with a pencil eraser, make sure you have lots of eraser, because if that metal edge scratches one of your pins, you can throw it in the trash. So you got to make sure you got plenty of eraser. Make sure it's clean. It doesn't have something on it. So if you have to, I know my wife's probably going to shoot me, but I'm going to show you right here. I can clean the eraser up on some denim, and then you can clean the pins, and then alcohol them, and it's fine. So those 3 work just fine. Hannah Montana had to take her apart about 3 times. I figured if she was destroyed, not going to work, I didn't care, so I really went to town rubbing really hard with the eraser, alcohol, and now she works. Sweet 16, the one that you saw that had the Coke in it, after cleaning it, it stunk. Come to find out, it smelled like it was rotten chocolate milk that was inside that disc. So I got it cleaned up, tested. I will not sell this game because I know the pins on here are corroded pretty bad. I'm going to turn the little overhead light off so it won't glare. Let's see if it'll work for me again. Let me get a stylus. See if you can see that. And I'm going to push the play. And it recognizes the disc at the bottom. I'm going to push to start. And it's playing. So I was able to get it to work. Mary Kate and Ashley Sweet 16. Tested it, goes through it, it works just fine. But I will not sell this game because I do know that this game's got a very limited life on it because the pins are bad on it. So yeah, just to go to show you. I've been over here for probably 30 minutes with all the games, cleaning them. It took me a little longer than I thought. It's because they were in such bad condition. But 30 minutes and I came out with like 6 games that I can actually sell. So yeah, invested in a little toolbox with some tools to be able to open the games. And I bought this at Goodwill just to test games with. I paid 20 bucks for it. Probably overpaid, but you know, if I could test a game and make it work, it'll make me some money. So that's all I have. I just want to show y'all what I was doing with games today. Okay, I'm back with a couple video games. Got a couple of Game Boy Colors here. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe works just fine. Of course, I got a Game Boy Color. No battery cover, but it's okay for testing games. This is a Tom and Jerry game I just installed. Power it on. It does not work. We're going to see if we can make this thing work. Got a storm going on in the background. It's a good day to spend inside and play with some video games, clean them up, get them working. It's a rainy day project. Game Boy Color games. They take a different kind of screwdriver. It's a little star-headed screwdriver. You have a bit in the set that I showed you earlier. I also bought a set with orange handles. It's got the two different size screwdrivers for these games. They're good for taking apart the Nintendo Game Boy Colors, Nintendo 64s. Works very well on them. And this is this Nintendo 64. These are Sega. It works on Sega as well. So I'm gonna pull this Game Boy Color apart, Tom and Jerry. I'm gonna pull it apart. We're gonna try to clean it. Now the screws are tiny. Don't lose them. With that toolkit comes a little pad. It's magnetic. Should hold your screws. Keeps them from sliding off the table. So I got a Game Boy Color. Slide down on the front. When you take the screw out of the back, slide down on the front and it lifts off. The actual board inside is just sitting in there. So I probably should have gloves on when I do this. I don't have gloves on. My hands are clean, but they're not oil free. Not too concerned about it. The pins on this one look really nasty. So I'm going to start with an eraser. It's definitely going to need an eraser on this one. I might have to do some alcohol and eraser a couple times. You can't see this on video. I should probably get it on video just so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just erasing on the pins. Just rub the pins until they come clean. What happens is you're removing some buildup. Could be trash, could be dirt. Kids blowing their games to get them to work, get some moisture in there, corrosion. And so don't let that aluminum, that metal around your eraser touch those pins, or you'll trash that disc or that game real quick. So I'm going to buff them off a little bit, then I'm going to use some alcohol and a swab. I don't know if you can see this. They already look a lot better, shiny. And I'm going to use some alcohol, just regular 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. And just a Q-tip. I'm not too concerned with it being, some people say just damp. I put a lot of isopropyl alcohol on there, rub it really good. I'm trying to do this best I can so you can see it. And I don't take the game out and clean it unless I clean every part of the front of this game. I wipe it all down, get any kind of residues, any kind of oils, soda pop, like we had in the other Hannah Montana game, or old spoiled milk. Clean up, even though the back of it doesn't have contacts, I clean the back of the entire game. Never had problems doing this. As long as you're using alcohol, you're not using water. Don't ever put soap and water on these games. Alcohol dries really fast. I'll flip the Q-tip around, dab up any liquid that might be on there. Wipe the back off very well. Get all the cotton from my Q-tip off of it. Set it aside. I always look inside the case, make sure it's clean. Give it a little wipe down, make sure there's no residue, anything in the case, anything where the pins would be. That was the front, this is the back. Not that this really matters, but I guess I'm just concerned that there's something in there. So I like everything to be nice and clean. Once you get it clean, you take the back of the case, you put it back together in reverse order. Set it right on the back. It sits on the little screw hole. Put the front on, slide it up, put the screw back in. I'm gonna put the screw back in off camera because I gotta set it down and I'm blind. Line that screw up. Never over tighten these, they're delicate. You just gotta turn it until it stops and that's it. That screw is just to keep that cover from sliding down, really. It's just a pin, so it's not holding the game tight, it's just keeping the cover from sliding off. So once you slide that back cover on, just screw it till it stops and it's done. So, with a little luck, this game will work. Power it up and let's see what happens. Give it a second. And it does not work. I'll go back and do it one more time, and if that doesn't clear it, I'll consider that game trash. And I'll move on to the next one. Does not work. Alright. I'll go back and try to buff it again with an eraser, but I'm not hopeful for it. It looks like this game had gotten wet. The artwork's messed up. A lot of times when they get wet, messes up the chips or something inside, and there's nothing you can do for it. But this one looks like it's been soaked. As for Pokemon, I don't have the console here to play to test it in front of you, but I'm telling you, when I put it in the console, it did not work. Use the same screwdriver. I'm gonna take out 2 screws. This one's a little more difficult than the Game Boy games. Same bit driver. You take the 2 screws out of the back, folds open. Got this metal case here. It's got 2 Phillips screws. So I'll take those out. If you're not comfortable doing this with your games, don't do it. I would practice on a game you really don't want in case something happens to it. Try that first, or a game that doesn't work. So you got nothing to lose. Little metal cover. The little metal cover will come off. Pry it out just a little bit. A little metal cover on the game. The next thing is the actual card. Lifts out. Metal cover in the back. On the card is a game slot plastic protector. That's got to go back on the way it came off. So if you watch, there's a little notch on this side that's different than the other. Make sure you put that back on the way it came off. Now that I have this card out, I'm going to use an eraser on the pins. I just erase the pins. As long as you're using a soft eraser on those pins, I've never had a problem with it. You let that metal touch those pins, and you're going to have a problem. Now this one has pins front and back, so you'll have to do the back side on the cartridge games. Once I got that cleaned off, wet Q-tip with isopropyl alcohol. Same thing, I'm going to rub the pins. On this one, I'm not going to wipe the whole card down. The card looks very, very clean. I'm going to just wipe the pins. Then I'm going to dry them with the back side of the Q-tip, the other end. Make sure it's good and dry. That looks good. Don't touch the pins. Put it back in reverse order. I don't know if you guys can see this. See, I did not put the cartridge deal back on there. It's on there. Put it back in the case. A little tricky to line it up. I'm trying to show you guys. Let me lay it flat and do it. Okay, falls in place. The cover clips on the bottom and flips up. There's two little pins here that it clips on. So if you hold it from the sides, clip the bottom, flip it up, and two Phillips screws to hold the metal plate in. Have all your stuff that goes back inside in front of you so you don't forget something. These are Phillips screws. Don't over tighten them. Just snug them. They're not going to hold any weight. They're just keeping things from moving around. That's all. The two Phillips screws are in right there. Hold it from the sides. Clip the bottom, close the top, game's back together. Go back to the housing screws. There's two of those. Again, it's just holding the game together. It's not holding any weight, so just turn them till they stop. Don't over tighten them. And this game is ready to be tested. Hey you Pikachu, I'm pretty sure that this one's going to work. Pins look really clean. Usually they're damaged from being, normally they don't work because of the pins, dirty. But there are times where they're damaged from they got something on them. Kids will be drinking soda pop, like it wasn't Hannah Montana, it was the twins, the Olsen twins. That other disc is nasty. It had like chocolate milk inside of it. That damaged that disc. It works, but it ate the pins up. It's not ever going to be right again. But you can clean your disc, make them work again, save you some money. If you're collecting discs and you want them to work, you find some discs that don't work, you get them really cheap, get them, clean them up. If you buy them cheap enough, if they work, great. If they don't, it was worth a shot. So good luck cleaning your disc, and I hope this information was helpful.